What's up YouTube, Smashing Pumpkin here coming at you guys with the video today. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about YCS-Toronto and some of the big things that happened from that event. But first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my channel and like a little bit of what's going on around here. I've finally gone to college, so that's pretty neat. And like videos are going to be a little bit more sporadic because of work and school and stuff of that nature. However, I'm going to try and like start up a blog which should help you guys with gaining information, and it might be a little bit better media, and also happen to help me practice my writing. I'm a little bit tongue-tied and a little bit sick, but it's all good. Um, anyway, YCS Toronto happened, I believe, last weekend, and it was a rather defining. Um, well, everyone was kind of looking at the event, seeing how the meta is going to define itself. It kind of had a low, kind of disappointing amount of players that attended, but I mean, it kind of comes with the territory of being in Toronto, which isn't a huge Yu-Gi-Oh city, and not a lot of U.S. players want to go out of the country. So there was that. Um, as far as the event itself, Dragons and Mermail has found a lot of the success at the top 8, while Dragons overall from the top 32 seems to be the more consistent deck. But then again, Mermail was sort of surprised because the version that Source Siberian was playing did not play Diva, which was kind of like the more powerful, one of the most powerful cards the deck had at the time. That was really doing well last format. Basically, like kind of the rhetoric behind why he doesn't use Diva is because it runs through like your kind of runs through your deck a little bit quick, which is not kind of, well, it runs through your resources a little bit quick, which is not really what you want to do because you want to use every card very successfully. And also the fact that he doesn't have to play synchros. I think he only played Crimson Blader, but the fact that he only used one synchro opened up his extra deck way big, so he could potentially play a lot more XYZs and stuff that he'd have a hard time fitting in regard otherwise. As far as Mermail, the deck itself goes, it's very combo oriented, and opening a bad hand against dragons especially could probably seal your fate like really quickly. But otherwise, like the combos are really good. The engineer combo where you get out Bahamut Shark is really good. Like getting around that first turn is like next to impossible. And then when you're dealing with like everything and you just wait until you get your title, you pretty much have the game on lockdown. As far as Dragon's success, like it's probably the most consistent deck of the format because you can just spam beaters. If your opponent overextends, you block across the field, and then you just keep on going, which is kind of unfair. But like, then again, like it's Dragons. It's probably one of the most overpowered archetypes of all time. Well, not really archetype, but just like cards that have ever been made. As far as that goes, there are two other decks from the event that I really like to talk about really quickly. One is the Dragon Dragonity deck that was piloted by Patrick Hoban and Dale Bolito and I believe someone else, but I can't remember their name right now. The deck looks incredibly solid. Like, I haven't tested with it yet, unlike I've tested with like Dragons and Mermails, but the deck is like incredibly solid looking. It's like kind of like Teledad-esque because you do a lot of protecting the Stardust and then like exploding, and then you get to go through your deck super quickly because you're playing dragons and 7-star sword, Sacred Sword of the 7 stars. I can't even talk. So that's the thing. It's probably not going to be the most popular deck. I believe Dragons is going to be the most popular, like at locals and regionals and stuff like that. So that's probably what you're going to be needing to prepare for the most. However, the next deck I'm going to talk about is also going to be like really popular because it's by far the cheapest deck, and that's going to be Blackwings. Blackwings had one top at the event, but that went all the way to top 4, mainly because he was able to use a lot of his cards really skillfully, and Icarus Attack being like one of the best removal in the game right now, Collude being like one of the best damage stroke tricks in the game right now, and Whirlwind helping you accelerate really quickly. to get to your Kalutes and your Blizzards and your Gales and to have explosive plays is just like nuts. It's honestly going to be a really big threat, and like, yeah, it's that and Dragonities are probably like going to be like the dark horse decks. Like they're going to still top, but they're not going to be like the topping force of dragons. And as far as Mermail goes, like as soon as you realize how the deck plays, like you can beat it pretty easily. So that's it with like the decks I'd like to talk about. There were a couple of random tops. I think there was a Fire Fist that looked like okay, and the Herald of Perfection deck, and then the Infinities they got into top 16. But yeah, they're very like kind of self-explanatory. Like Inferno is just like a big combo deck, and Fire Fist just grind you out, and the two Evil Swarms do like pretty much the same thing. As far as tech goes, I'll go through this really quickly. Debunk and Dragons and Mermail is like incredible. It's probably going to be like one of the defining cards of your side deck because like the ability to stop hand traps in the mirror is like probably going to win you the game like 9 times out of 10, and then the fact that it's banished too is just like literally nuts. And then doing it to negate a dragon effect that isn't a summon when they have to pitch 2 dragons of the same attribute and then banishing one, that's like nuts. Because then you don't get to search either because you activate an effect this turn. So debunk's really good. Needle stealing against like a lot of the spam decks like Mermail and Blackwings and to some extent Dragoonity is also really good. A card that I saw a lot that I don't really think belongs is XYZ Encore. I see it mainly as an out to Ophion and little else, and I think there are better cards than that in Dragons and in Mermail. Like I think Raikou is a much better card in Dragons because you get to the mill and then you get more resources. And then in Blackwings have a lot of answers to it, so I'm not going to talk about that. And then Dragons have Raikou, and then Mermail have the either Morphing Jar number 2 works really well, or I can't think of its name, Snowman Eater. Yeah, those both work really well to get rid of Ophion in a clutch situation. And then actually the Encore is just a card that I see like getting Safe Zone chained to it, or rather not Safe Zone getting chained to it, my bad. The Infestation Pandemic getting chained to it. Last card I want to talk about is Skill Drain. Skill Drain like literally shuts down like every other deck besides Mermail and Dragon. Well, Mermail to some extent. Like if they're playing it and then they get to control when to activate it, then Skill Drain is amazing. So that's going to be another card you're going to have to look out for. It was sided in a lot of Dragon decks and a lot of Mermail decks, so just be on the lookout for the next time around. I think that's going to be it. I'm going to hit you guys up with some more information about my blog. I'm sorry if this video quality is really bad. I don't know how good the camera on my computer is, but we're going to see. Alright, this is Smashing Pumpkin signing out. Peace. Oh, it didn't stop. Bye.